Now the first point to begin with is the term national movement and what it symbolizes, what it indicates. The essential word is national. So what is the meaning of nation from which the word national comes? Countries have existed in history for a long time. They are geographical regions. For instance, India, with its northern boundary, the Himalayas, and in the south, the peninsula surrounded by the sea, forms a geographical region. Now, in this geographical region, movements of people are much easier than across either the sea or across the mountains. So languages generally in this area are akin to each other. They may be different, but their roots go back, say for in the Indo-European languages, to the early Indo-Iranian family of languages, and similarly Dravidian languages of common origins. So people have affinities in language. They intermarry more than they intermarry with people of other countries. And therefore, the notion that India as a country is not a very, very ancient one. It is not there in the Rig Veda, but by the 3rd century BC, Ashoka was speaking of the country of India, and later on in 1st century BC the word name Bharat, or in Prakrit Bharat, was given to this country. Other names also were given. Iranians gave us the word Hindu, from which Hindustan is an Iranian word, came into use in Iran first from around 3rd century AD, and then it came to India. So whatever be the name, there was a concept of a geographical region. But nation is more than a country. Nation means that the country is also a political unit. It should be a political unit. That is the first difference between a country. A country may be a political unit or may not be a political unit, but it's only when its political unit in conception that the word nation is applicable. Now several historians, like the historian students of history would know about Tara Chand, believed that India as a nation arose in the Mughal times because the Mughal Empire gave a unity to the country. Now this is only of course partly true. The empire and the country, as in the time of the Mauryas, coincided, but it was not necessarily the belief of everyone that India should be a united political unit and ruled by the same government. In the English language, you know, if Europeans talked in Indians about Indians, they talked of Brahmans as a nation, Banyas as a nation, caste was often called a nation. So the word nation had various meanings. Any community could be called a nation.
So, all evening we've been speaking about this idea of the Indian and the Indian identity, and I'm very confused. Because I came to this country 20 years back, and I lived here, and I'm Sonali's better half. I'm also an architect, and we worked across, different parts of this country, metros, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns. And I to date struggle with the idea that I think that, Bengal is Bengali first and Indian second. Tamil is Tamil first and Indian second. The notion of the Indian nationhood is actually a very nebulous construct. It is a very, very young construct. It's 60, 70 years old.
No, that's a very colonial construct that was manufactured like that. This is what was trained to Oxford and Cambridge. Civil servants were trained on this. The idea of India is very old. That's why we were talking about the pilgrim routes.
No. You're completely wrong. There is a region, okay? There is a region of South Asia, right, which includes Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka. It's a region, and this region has grown over an evolutionary period of about 10,000 years with cultures and subcultures forming. The idea of India is colonial. It is not.
No.
So let me can I finish my point if you don't mind? Okay, so, and I actually was addressing the question.
Yeah.
You are right
Please.
in some way, and I would like to.
So just to conclude my
I'll
question.
mediate between the two of you.
No, let me just conclude my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say that Indians are a particular way and Indians are not a particular way, who are we really referring to between the self, the community, the state, and the nationhood?
Okay, so I think the bigger issue that you raised is the idea of India being old or new. I agree with you. The idea of a modern state as currently defined, official, formal state, constitution, rule of law, common military, currency, or all that, is new. But a cultural unity, a cultural spiritual unity exists by virtue of the fact that if you look at Adi Shankara in way back, traveling to the four corners of this country because he saw there's something in common. Every 100 miles a different language, but still it is, if this is not common, why would he consider this the space, this is the geography that he has to boundary with these mattas that he started. Even before that, you look at the Shakti Peethams, the 108 Shakti Peethams of the Devi, they go all over Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all over India, with a sense of unified architecture. There's an architecture of the Shakti Peethams, which is a unified architecture spread across all this. You see the old narratives in the south of Kashmir, the mountains, Mount Kailash, it's all part of the folklore and the itihas of India. And you see the people in the north talking about Rameshwaram and the whole Lanka story. So if you look at the stories, the narratives that are in people's imagination as the sense of who we are. If you take a Ramayana as a sense of, for a certain genre, for a certain period in history, a sense of a collective narrative of who we are, it is across geographical, it is spread across the geography. So that is a sense not of India but of some entity maybe you can't name. It is not a political...
Bharat Varsha, this term exists for a long time, and just to add one example that I'll give you from a field that is not considered religious, drama, the Natya Shastra, that is the area of my study, my PhD is on the Natya Shastra. Chapter 14 of the Natya Shastra, it tells the different theatre performers about the different parts of India and how performances vary. So the performer must know local cultural variations, and if you look at the chapter, it's available, you'll see that the examples are drawn from different parts of India that would correspond geographically to what we have.
Thank you.